Hello, and welcome again to airgunweb.com. My name is Rick Utzler, and I'm glad that you can join us again today. Today we're going to take a look at a new rifle from Pyramid Air. It's the new Halestorm by AirVenturi. Pyramid Air sent us both the rifle and the AirVenturi pump. The gun retails for about $450, and the pump retails for about $200. Now, while that may be a lot of money out of pocket, I haven't yet found a gun that matches its power and accuracy. Even the new Benjamin Marauder, which is a favorite of mine, doesn't quite have the power of this Halestorm. In fact, the Halestorm beats it by at least 100 feet per second. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gun.
From the moment I took this new Halestorm out of the box, I was impressed with the rifle. The quality and craftsmanship is on par with anything that I've ever seen. The stock is very, very nice. I will say that the stock does scratch easily, so you're going to want to make sure that you do take good care of the rifle. Maybe put it in a rifle case. I wouldn't let it beat around too much. The rifle comes with both front and rear fiber optic sights, which are pretty unique to this gun. Most of these new pre-charged rifles just expect that you're going to put a scope on them, but this rifle is nice in that it does have the open sights, so that if you don't want to use a scope, you don't have to. A very cool feature allows you to adjust the butt of the gun to your shooting position. This is very helpful to maintain a good shooting position, and also helps with accuracy. That's another unique feature I haven't really seen on any other guns in this price range. The Reservoir, as you can see, sits underneath the barrel. The very cool thing about this Reservoir, as we'll see a little bit later, you can actually replace it and carry several with you. The stock there is ambidextrous, which is pretty cool. Here's how you would load the rifle. That little cylinder simply pops out. You go ahead and put your pellets in. It holds 10 pellets. I don't think it will take long pellets, say like the Predator pellets, but just about any other standard pellet will work just fine in this rifle. And the loading is quite simple and easy, and it's certainly not anything you're going to have trouble with. Okay, so now the gun's all loaded. Here's how that Reservoir actually comes off the gun. It's actually a really, really neat idea. Again, you can purchase additional cylinders so that if you're going to be on an extended hunt and you don't want to take the pump, you can just simply take a couple extra cylinders along with you. To fill the gun, all you need to do is take the little probe there on the end of the hose and slide it into that hole, and then simply start pumping. To fill the gun initially does take a good bit of effort. Once you're basically full, however, it's just a matter of topping it off. I usually shoot between 20 or 30 shots and then fill the gun. It takes about 40 to 50 before you're full.
Okay, so we've got our gun loaded. We've got our cylinder filled. Let's go ahead and screw this back into the gun. We're going to go right over to the bench and see what kind of groups we get. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see this here, but we put 5 shots in a very, very small space. I mean, with a very small scope correction, we could bring that entire group directly in that center ring. I've noticed this with a lot of pre-charged rifles. They'll start off a little bit slower. You'll watch the velocity increase, and then it'll start tapering off as you kind of get to the end of the useful pressure in the reservoir. This shot very, very consistent. I think there was only 1 to 2 foot per second difference in that entire group. We're going to run off the same charge we've got now. I want to move the camera up to the target and shoot another 5 shots, and we'll also see how the velocity changes. I know that with these pellets, I'm using the Crossman pointed pellets, which have proven to be the best pellet for this rifle. Those pellets top out about 980 feet per second. Now those are a 14.3 grain pellet. That is really, really flying in a 22 caliber rifle. Let's move the camera and see what we get in this next group. Okay, so we just put 20 rounds through the Halestorm. Our first group started at about 912 foot per second and was very consistent. The next group went to about 920. At 920 I had 3 duplicate FPS shots, so that means 3 out of the 5 were identical. The next group jumped to about a 935 with a high of 946. And this last group kind of settled in. First couple shots were at the 930s. The last shot was 956. I know that the next shot group is going to be well into the 950s, 60s, and 70s. And what you're going to see is that pattern's going to open up a little bit. The real sweet spot for this rifle seems to be right in that 912 to 920. As we can see from these different cards, I think the real challenge with this particular rifle is going to be really adjusting for that change in the point of impact depending on pressure and how many shots you've shot. Obviously it changes the higher the velocity, a little bit wider the group, a little bit more unstable the gun. If they could maybe even dial this down to maybe top out at like a 920 or a 925, you may get 1 more shots per fill, and 2, you may get an overall more consistent shot group. I want to take just a moment and thank the guys over at Pyramid Air. They've been extraordinarily generous. They provide all these products for us to review, along with the equipment and the supplies. When you need your next air gun or your next batch of pellets, or maybe you're looking for some targets or a tactical vest, make sure you hit them up at www.pyramidair.com. They're a great bunch of guys to work with. My name is Rick Utzler. Please shoot safe and have a lot of fun, and we hope to see you again soon.